day everyone, I'm Peñoso together with my partner Marvin Poblite who will discuss the money laundering. Under this discussion, we will tackle about the cycle of money laundering, the penalties, and the different terminologies that we will encounter. First, money laundering refers to a financial transaction scheme that aims to conceal the identity, source, and destination of illicitly obtained money. There are many ways to launder money from the simple to the very complex. One of the most common techniques is to use a legitimate cash-based business owned by a criminal organization. For example, if the organization owns a restaurant, it might inflate the daily cash receipt to funnel illegal cash through the restaurant and into the restaurant's bank account. After that, the funds can be withdrawn as needed. This type of business are often referred to as the money laundering cycle can be broken down into three distinct stages. However, it is important to remember that money laundering is a single process and the stages of money laundering include the placement stage, layering stage, and integration. The placement stage represents the initial entry of the dirty cash or proceeds of crime into the financial system. Generally, this stage serves two purposes. First is it relieves the criminals of holding and guarding large amount of bulky of cash. And second, it places the money to the legitimate financial system. It is during the placement stage that money launderers are the most vulnerable to being caught. This is due to the fact that placing large amounts of money or cash into the legitimate financial system may raise suspicions of officials. The placement of the proceeds of crime can be done in a number of ways. For example, cash could be packed into a suitcase and smuggled to a country, or the launderer could use mercs to defeat reporting threshold laws and avoid suspicion. After placement comes the layering stage, sometimes referred to as structuring. The layering stage as structuring. The layering stage is the most complex and often entails the international movement of the funds. The primary purposes of the stage is to separate illicit money from its source. This is done by sophisticated layering of financial transactions that obscure the audit trail and serve the link with original crime. This stage, for example, the money launderers may begin with moving funds electronically from one country to another, then divided them into investment placed in advanced financial options or overseas markets, constantly moving them to elude detection, each time exploiting loopholes or discrepancies in legislation and taking advantage of delays in judicial or police cooperation. Final stage of money laundering processes is termed the integration stage. It is at the integration stage where the money is returned to the criminal from what seem to be legitimate sources. Having been placed initially as cash and layered through a number of financial transactions, the criminal proceeds are now fully integrated into the financial system and can be used for any purposes. So how does money laundering work? What is the cycle of money laundering? The process of laundering money typically involves three steps. The first step is placement, second is layering, and the third is integration. For simple explanation, placement surreptitiously injects the dirty money into a financial system. Then, while in the second step, layering conceals the source of the money through a series of transactions and bookkeeping tricks. And in the final step, integration, the now laundered money is withdrawn from a legitimate account to be used for whatever purposes the criminals have in mind for it. That's how money laundering simple cycle on how it works.
Section 1, short title, this act shall be known as Anti-Money Laundering Act of 2001. short for AMLA, na sinasabi na noong September 20 nabuo itong batas na ito kung saan para ito sa mga seguridad ng ating mga bangko. Section 2, Declaration of Policy to protect and to preserve the integrity of confidentiality of bank account and to ensure the Philippines shall not to be as money laundering site for proceed of unlawful activity. Make the Philippines vibrant and reliable for international partnership in other big company. Para din hindi masira ang mga tiwala ng ibang kumpanya at alam nila na safe na sa ayos gagamitin ang kanilang pera, at makakasigurado din sila na ang pera na galing sa bangko ay sa malinis na paraan ginawa. Section 4, Money Laundering Offenses. Money laundering is a crime whereby the proceeds of unlawful activity are transacted, thereby making them appear to have originated from the legitimate sources. Ay gaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina, ay ito ay isang transnational crime na maaaring dumihan ng ating bansa na nagmula sa nanlikom na pera mula sa maling gawain na di dapat pamarisan ng iba. Consistent its foreign policy, the state shall extend cooperation in transnational investigation and prosecution of persons involved in money laundering activities wherever committed. Dahil nga kabilang ito sa mga transnational crime, ay malaki ang epekto nito sa ating bansa. Kaya dapat maimbestigahan at masiyasat ng mabuti ang mga taong kahinahinala na gumagawa ng kabalbalan na ito. Ayon naman sa Section 6, Prosecution of Money Laundering, sino mang tao ay maaaring kasuhan at mahatulan ng parehong pagkakasala ng money laundering at ang labag sa batas na aktibidad gaya ng tinutukoy dito. And these are the terminologies we found. Placement, the action of putting someone or something in a particular place or the fact of being placed. Number 2, layering is essential. The use of placement and extraction over and over again, using varying amounts of each time to make tracing transaction as hard as possible. Number 3, integration, the process of using legitimate transaction to disguise illicit proceeds. In the integration stage, the funds are reintroduced into the economy to appear belonging legitimate sources. Number 4, illicit, movement of money that illegally acquired, transferred, or spent across borders. And number 5, dirty money, money obtained unlawfully or immorally. Immorally pala. Number 6, smurf, colloquial term for a money launderer who seeks to evade scrutiny from government agencies by breaking up large transactions into a set of smaller transactions that are each below the reporting threshold. Number 7, mules, cash smugglers who sneak large amount of cash across the border and deposit them in foreign accounts, where money laundering enforced is less strict. That's all the terminologies we found. Thank you.